Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Getting to Know. I'm Rio Smith, and this is soon-to-be Dr. Mr. Finkler. How you doing, sir?
Doing good, Rio.
So tell me and tell the audience out there, how does mass communication and communication intertwine so fluently with each other?
If you look at just our society as a whole, we are all based off of telling stories. Whether it's telling stories on an interpersonal nature, you know, you and your best friend just talking about what happened that day, or whether it's telling them through the news or telling them through film, it's all about storytelling. Granted, the methods are different, but we're still telling stories, we're creating narratives. So I think the fact that no matter whether you're comm studies, you're mass comm, you're all telling some sort of story. You're learning how to communicate on any different level. I think that's why they hold hands so nicely.
Yeah, he's the expert here. I'm telling you, he's the expert. So as a student growing up, went to Montevallo, how did communication affect your academic life?
How did it affect my academic life? I think for me, Montevallo is the perfect example of how interpersonal communication in the classroom and that one-on-one relationship and attention is such a valuable part of the educational experience.
Is it because it's a smaller university?
Exactly. Because, you know, you hear of students that go to the big schools, which are great because, I want to go to this school because of football, or I want to go to this school because of just the name, all of those things. And then you hear them talk about, I'm in this, my smallest class is 200 people.
Wow.
And that blows my mind, the thought of being in a class with 200 people. And, you know, we always say here at Montevallo, you know, we know you by name, not by number. And, you know, for me, that really meant a lot, that I could walk into a professor's office and they not only knew my name, but they knew who I was, what I wanted to do, and that allowed them to help me figure out what classes to take, who to talk to, where to intern, all of those things. So for me, that was the crucial point.
So speaking of who you was, who you are now, a lot of people consider you the go-to guy. You're highly respected around the university, from your peers, your contemporaries, onto your underlings, your students. So
my underlings, that sound like they're my minions. I feel like Gru on Despicable Me.
We are the minions. So tell me, like, a lot of people credit it to your ability to be able to communicate with everyone, no matter what their level are, what their levels are. So tell me, what's the secret?
I'm very clever, very smart.
Hear that?
Very humble, very humble. No, just
humble pie, all the way.
I think, you know, it's just because I've worked in the professional world where I have to deal with all types of people, and again, being an effective communicator plays a huge part in that. And what I always tell students is, you know, especially with TV stations, you end up working with kind of like the oddest little group of people ever.
Yeah.
And so I think, you know, being able to work in an environment with those people and communicate with them allows me to be able to talk to anyone. And even, you know, I think here on campus, we are so diverse that you get those opportunities to talk to every type of person, with no matter what they think, what they believe, their background, where they're from. So I think just being open and excited about learning new things makes it easy to communicate with anybody.
That's why he's the expert, Super Bruce, Super Bruce Finkley. Thank you so much, sir, for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's get it back to the studio with Rio Smith.